I thought I should look at my side, and let me start from that point. Because the theme is so interesting, and I'm going to rush through this, but I want to rush through it in a systematic manner. And I hope by His grace that I'm able to create a pathway on which a platform that we can start building day by day. Chike said a lot of fundamental things. I don't know how many of you picked it, but there are opportunities that are so rife. The politicians don't see it. You see, what your eyes have seen, what your ears have heard, your hands should touch. But they can't touch because you are devoid of understanding. And the only way you can have is to be able to stay strong and be saying, to yourself, as far as I live, I want to understand what these things are, and I want to be able to do right. So my journey is really about some tips. They're not strategies, they are really tips. And how you can improve yourself, whether in life and in business. And I'll use that opportunity to also introduce myself. But let me start from a pedestal. Because we said creating hope for the future. This is one scripture that really, one of the best scriptures I love. Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. They are plans to do what? To prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you what? A hope and a future." This is where it's coming from. Because without God, there's nothing. And how do I know? Listen, this is my story. When you hear my story, you'll know that it had nothing to do. So some of you are sitting there, you're probably feeling, I don't know what family I was born into. I don't know, I've been poor. There are poorer people, though. Now from sleep, they learn how to die. There are poorer people. You've not seen poor. The day I had the privilege to travel to Guinea with my boss when I was in Coca-Cola, we flew on a private jet to Guinea. They have never seen people that... Nigerians were complaining in 2004 or 5 that we were poor. We had a plant in Guinea, and we went to that. The only thing that was alive in Guinea was the Coca-Cola plant. The State House, the road to the State House, you could see at that time the president had been in power for God knows how long. Even the gate to the State House was like that. Then we went to the bars and the restaurants just to meet some of the customers, and you could find people, they were lean. And I said, God did not intend that people will be this poor. Guinea. And yet in Nigeria, my people are crying that they are poor. They've not seen poor. That was poor. I'm not kidding. But this is my story. And I'm going to introduce myself to you. My name is Idy Enang. Now, people call me Idy because they can't call Idy. Idy means hope. That's where the Idy came from. And that's my friends and colleagues like, okay, let me spare him for now. But I come from a minority tribe, the Enang tribe in Akwa Ibom. In my time, the average youth's ambition was to either become a houseboy or a cook. You know why? Because there was nobody to sponsor. There was no education. So even parents couldn't afford it. So the easier path is to allow you go and serve and get some money. It wasn't out of... Some of you don't understand what people have gone through. We've serviced some of you in your homes. 18. All Nollywood movies, they use our names.